welcome to the Real Estate Photography Podcast with Mike Muriello. This is episode 113, workflow tip number 1. This tip is all about increasing the efficiency of being notified of listings. Myself, personally, I work with a number of agents and a pretty large number, and being notified from a lot of different people in a lot of different ways can be very frustrating. For example, there's no way I could field all the calls from all these different agents. Just as importantly, I couldn't field all the various different emails from all the different agents in their the variety of ways that they would do it. Some people would include the necessary information, some people would not. They'd accidentally forget maybe the home phone number of the homeowner, or they might leave out the city that the house is in, and it could just cause all sorts of problems. Being that as it is, what I do is I use a standardized form. And that form, I do not work for Squarespace, just saying that flat out. But anyway, I use Squarespace, and I really like their form submission process. It works out pretty well. So what we have here, sorry, I do apologize, this is not as interactive as it could be, but this is it. This is what they would fill out. So when they want to notify me of a listing, they go ahead and they put in their name, their email address, the address of the listing, which is fairly important. And then the most important information is this additional information, where they go ahead and they include the homeowner's name and their phone number. That way, typically, if the house isn't vacant, I'm coordinating with the homeowner as opposed to the agent, because that would give them one more thing to do, added thing to do to get that listing on the market. Try and make that simpler for them. The size of the listing is pretty important. For example, if you had 4 to 5 listings in a given day, you would try and you would try and book them back to back to back to back. Well, anyway, I do, so that I can finish up with the shoot, then get to the post-processing. If I don't know how large a house is, for example, if one house was only 1,500 square feet and the next one was 3,200 square feet, I'd be wasting a lot of time if I just assumed they were all 2,000 square feet. So it's important to know how large it is, because that kind of, the more you do it, that kind of tells you how much time it takes to do a listing. And then comments, I always leave a section for the agents to tell me, well, for example, I wrote down here, the kitchen is great and the living room's great, but stay out of the basement, it's bad. They're telling me, just don't go there. Or the laundry room, they just redid the laundry room. It's phenomenal. Make sure you get that. That's stuff you should know, and it gives an opportunity to let you know that. So then they go ahead and click submit, and what it would look like is something like this. You get an email from, and you can see mine's from Squarespace, and it says blah 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 from blah 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 blah, and you can see this: their name, their email address, the listing address, and that additional information. And you could basically cruise all this. And then the important part is, if you ever need to go back and search for it, it's all in here. So if you're using Gmail or any other email service, you can search by keyword, and you can say, oh, I had something in Springfield, and you can just, and it'll pop up. You don't have to remember it. It's a good way to categorize things. And the cool thing about this form is that when you click reply, it doesn't go to Squarespace. It goes to the address that they put in. So it's a pretty neat way of being notified of your listings, as opposed to getting random phone calls, random emails. And that's pretty much it. All right, thanks. Have a good one.